Okay. We are live. I'll make this post.
Is the TV gonna stay turned down? Dad?
Yes, it needs to stay turned down.
Okay. Does that look a little too dark at all on my?
A little bit, but I don't know. Once you start laying your pencils in, we can see how it looks.
There's. I think I can brighten it up somehow. I just don't know how. Well,
That seems a little brighter.
a little bit.
Okay, I'm gonna have to get a different camera, I think, eventually, because this is like more or less a GoPro super wide lens, so it's like I want something to be closer. Right now, this thing is like right in front of my face. The camera is. Well, you can see it in my profile picture. So, like off the side. So I guess we can do a little introduction because this is going live on YouTube right now. So
Oh my gosh, we're live right now?
Yeah, we're live. I made a post on my Facebook page. We'll see if we get any people that pop on because I want to see how it works on the comment section. So yeah, this is not a mic in front of my face. It's my camera for my drawing. Should we had one viewer for a second?
They probably searched the wrong.
Yeah. So yeah, if you're watching this not live, welcome to our stream, our live stream, touching tips. So this is a live stream where Ryan and I, Ryan's on the right there, big R, I'm on the left. We're just practicing drawing, so kind of boring stuff. We'll just be kind of developing our process. Sometimes we'll be doing like drawing challenges or exploring other kinds of different media, maybe painting, maybe inks, some days just pencils, but overall it's just to develop a passion of ours and share tips with each other on if there's something I can do better than Ryan and vice versa. I personally don't have tons of drawing experience. I drew a lot in high school and took some community classes, community college classes. I mostly kind of draw like comic book style stuff. So I'm just kind of working on developing that, but I can do portraits and stuff like that too. I mean, not super well. Ryan, do you want to talk about your background?
Yeah, so pretty much I went to school for art. I kind of always have dabbled in drawing and stuff like that. And I'm a pretty creative person, I think. And just kind of figured I'd probably do something like that. So I actually went to college for it. And after the first semester, I was a little scared. I kind of have a lot of problems with just being confident and stuff like that within my drawings. So I ended up doing psychology, but I got a minor in art, and that really kind of let me explore, put the pressure off me to be so successful as an artist. And so I did a lot of like fun classes since I was just minoring in art, and did a lot of figure drawing and stuff like that, and pottery, and I've just always love to draw. So I'm actually a graphic designer now, but so I don't do a lot of drawing. I do a lot of like more like kind of like layout and stuff like that. And really, to be a really good designer, you should probably draw. So that's kind of what I want to get back into, is being able to draw, and seeing Mike, he picked it back up, and kind of seeing him kind of made me want to start drawing again, and so hopefully Mike can be a little bit of my crutch as I go. but yeah, so that's pretty much my kind of story.
Cool. Yeah. I don't know, like right now I'm trying to work on we don't have anything specific for the stream today because we're still kind of testing things, hoping we get some viewers, some friends on to just test the comments section and stuff like that. I try to keep my eye on the comments, kind of moderate at the same time. That might be difficult, but yeah, if you guys ever join in, please comment, and that way we can just make sure we're running on all cylinders. Just make sure we're running on all cylinders. So right now I'm working on a Venom drawing for my sister. So right now I'm working on a, well, I'm getting some delay. Venom drawing for my sister. So right now I'm working. Okay. That's because I had the YouTube page to open it also, just to see if I could see comments on there or not. But they should come in directly through StreamYard. If all's working well.
I'm actually.
Oh, go ahead, Ryan. Sorry.
I'm actually going to be working on. I'm going to try to like go all the way back, like to the like very basics. Mainly because like I took drawing one, and you know, in drawing one, I mean, it's probably way different now because that was like 12 years ago or 13 years ago, or even like yeah, it was around that time, 15 years ago almost. But we didn't do a lot of like, you know, like Coach, when I see a lot of some of the artwork he does, he's really in depth with like the cross hatching and stuff like that. And I never really did cross hatching. I never did any of that type of stuff. But in drawing one, I didn't do too much of, honestly, doing like your very, very basic techniques of just like a lot of line practices and stuff like that. Just working on your basic different types of shading and just line work, you know, because it's something I see Coach doing a lot of, and he's really good at, is line weight. And I just never really did a lot of line weight stuff. So I'm going to try to like really go back and just kind of feel the pencils again and stuff like that, and just kind of get a good feeling of how things work. And this is a pretty cool book. I've had this for years. My mom gave it to me. Years, like I think I can't remember. I think I was not even in high school when she gave this to me. I'm not sure, but I always thought it was a really interesting book on some of the stuff that they do. So I'm actually going to start kind of from the beginning of just like the techniques and different mediums and stuff and shadowing. I think I'm just going to play around with that for a little bit, just kind of feel some stuff, and then kind of slowly, Coach will probably, after seeing some of his stuff, he'll probably push me to maybe like actually try and do some stuff from the brain. but yeah, so that's what I'm going to do.
Cool. Yeah, I'm just I think I started saying it, but I got distracted by the stream stuff. So my sister is asking me to do a Venom drawing, which I try to do on this big piece of paper. I don't know what the sizes are on it. I'm gonna measure. They wanted like 18 by 24, but I don't know if I'm going to be doing Copic markers on this. It might be a little big. So this is 16 by 20. So
what's comic markers?
Copic?
Oh, Copic markers.
I don't know. What are you? It's these guys.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you showed those to me before. Okay.
Yeah.
Are those expensive?
Yes, they're about $8 a marker, $7 or $8 a marker. But the nice thing is you can here, let's see. You can take the tips out and you can refill them. So this is a refill for. So they go by this. I don't know if you can see that W5 on there. So it goes by color and then like saturation. And this is a gray. This is a warm gray. And this is a yellow. So there's one like the Y stands for like the color, which would be a yellow color. Then I think these two numbers are like two separate numbers. So I think one is like maybe hue, and then like 9 or the 9, the second number is like the saturation level, or it might be vice versa or something like that. But anyways, so like I got this W5 marker. You just take the caps off, and this guy has the ink in it. And you just, after you take the tip out, you shove it in the marker, and it's got little measurements. It holds a total of like 12 milliliters. So each little section between the white lines is a millimeter, I believe. I think generally you fill in about like a 1.5 to 2 milliliters, depending on the marker and how dry it is.
Oh wow!
And you can replace tips on them too and stuff like that. So it's after like an initial big investment. It's not too bad to kind of like maintain them after that. But yeah, so what I'm working with right now in my sketchbook is I'm just drawing. I'm still really bad at this. But I'm just kind of roughing in some poses for this Venom drawing. Kind of see what grabs me, I guess. You got some others that I'd drawn previously. Where is it? Oh yeah, this one. I'm pretty bad at inking, but that's one kind of pose I was thinking about doing. That one, I think I like this one more, but I'm still kind of exploring stuff. It's hard to see because it's just I'm lightly drawing in these poses right now. But one I was thinking about was maybe having Venom like kind of crouching and like a spider web, and like drawing all the webbing around him. Then maybe have him. Venom's kind of a good guy now. He's like an anti-hero. But he started off as a Spider-Man villain. So let's think about maybe having him like holding like Spider-Man's mask, like kind of torn up or something.
Oh, that's kind of interesting.
In one hand. And just kind of having a big evil grin, kind of crouching there or something. So I don't know. I might try to flesh this in a little bit, see where it goes. But I think generally these live streams will be about an hour long. I think we'll draw as much as we can in that hour and talk and stuff. And
later on, between our streams, we'll probably be working on stuff. So we'll actually have like some more stuff to look at probably.
Yeah. Right now it's just, we're still kind of testing things out, seeing if things are going. We're both new to this, but Ryan and I, we live 2 hours away. Wichita, 2 hours from me.
Yeah, like 2.5 hours.
2.5 hours. So yeah, we're like 2.5 hours apart. So it's, both of us don't really have anybody that lives close to us that can kind of relate.
What about Marco and Bob?
To us as artists, I guess. So this is a way for us to kind of connect and just kind of learn from each other and help each other out at the same time and share some touching tips with each other.
Oh yeah, touching tips.
Some constructive. I just brain farted. Feedback, anyways. What's the other word for feedback that I'm brain farting on? Criticism. Constructive criticism.
Yeah, I kind of hope all this drawing practicing that we're kind of doing, I hope for me, it really does kind of broaden my design abilities in graphic design. Because a lot of times in graphic design, you kind of get stuck just being on the computer so much, and you're just clicking and dragging, and sometimes it's just working in that field of on the computer. You just kind of feel like your mind almost thinks mechanically, and hopefully I can get to a point where when I first started graphic design, I remember being in class and just thinking like, oh, I'm just going to draw everything. I'm just going to do everything. And then when I have to put it in the computer, it was really hard for me to learn the pen and stuff like that in Illustrator. And it just, after doing it for a year and a half, I just felt my brain moving more and more to perfectionism as an important tool or an important thing to accomplish, rather than just like in drawing, just like feeling something and just kind of, I mean, even when I'm drawing these shapes right now, I feel like really tight, and it's just it's really strange. But Coach, you tried dabbling a little bit. Well, not dabbling in design, but you tried some of the programs too, didn't you? Like the Illustrator and stuff like that.
No, not really. I think a long time ago I did take an Adobe Illustrator class, but this is like well before I knew you and Nick. I just remember it was a lot of that vector art stuff, just like basically putting dots down or whatever and adjusting and drawing a line or whatever with your cursor. Like you didn't even use, I think Illustrator for the most part doesn't use like pen tools. Like you just have it's like all point and click and mouse stuff, and you basically put a line down and then you adjust the line with the points or whatever that you put on the line or something.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, anyways, I did that a long time ago, but I don't really remember much of it.
Yeah, I remember the first time I did a design class, and like my first design class, we actually didn't do anything in the computer for the first like couple of weeks. I was like, man, this is a really cool concept. I think I might dig this, you know. And then we started getting into the computer. And in college, just like 6 years ago, it was the first time I ever did Illustrator. And I remember like clicking around and then just describing how to make a line and the concept of like these points and stuff and how to bend the lines. I was like, I think I'm going to hate this immensely. I was like, maybe I'm making a huge mistake because this is not cool. But God, man, I just remember thinking like I really made a bad mistake because I had never done any design stuff. I had a friend show me some designs he made, but he never showed me the process. And I was like, oh yeah, that's cool. But yeah, that's one thing that's really bummer about graphic design is just like you're missing all this like creative thought, you know, because when you're drawing, in my opinion, I'm always constantly just like, did I make this line right? Did I do this right? And it's not necessarily is the line necessarily perfect. Like in graphic design, if you're tracing something, it's got to be, you know, just right. But you're worried about like line weight and stuff like that. You know, you do that all at once when you're drawing. And in graphic design, it's like, oh, I'm going to make the line. I'm going to change the line weight now, and then, you know, go do something or make a brush that gives it that look of drawing. And it's just like something I really miss doing now is it's like a craft, you know, drawing. And there's a quietness to drawing I really kind of miss too. I used to really get in my own world, and I feel like I don't even have that much anymore in graphic design. It doesn't take me to this like world of just doing something, taking a step back and looking at it. I mean, you do that in graphic design, but it's just on the computer. It just can be really different.
Yeah, I'm hoping at some point to get I would like to delve into digital drawing and try that out. I don't think I would ever completely be done with just traditional stuff, because there's just something about like having that piece of paper in front of you. But I don't know. There's lots of other advantages to the digital stuff too. Like if you make a mistake and you erase it, there's like no pencil marks left over. And I'm kind of heavy-handed, so like even when I try to loosely draw a figure in before I start darkening it in, you can still see my pencil marks from it. So I'm going to switch my pencil.
Eventually, I want to set up my easel so I can get back to a little bit like kind of free form, using like my whole arm to do stuff rather than kind of using my wrists and stuff like that. I've noticed with like a lot of David Finch in them, uh, that I've been kind of looking at, and even like you, Mike, um, like it's going to be really challenging for me to be at this state like all the time. So I wonder how I'll kind of develop that.
You drawing with a lead holder right now?
Yeah, just this guy.
Yeah, I got mine out.
I see David. David uses that a lot, and so I was like, huh. I wonder what the like benefit is there or whatever. You know, I'm not sure, so I figured I'd kind of play with it and draw. And just
Yeah, I think a lot of it depends on your paper too.
Oh yeah.
He draws them like I forget, it's like a Strathmore.
A Bristol, didn't he, or something like that?
It's a Bristol, yeah. But there's a specific series, and it's got like I mean, he does all of his finished like comic book covers and stuff on it, and it's got like grid lines and stuff around the outside of it, so it's shows the area that you should be like drawing through or whatever.
Bubba, can we play unpacking?
But yeah, it's just,
Power
and everyone's different. Like,
please.
Sorry, I've got kids and a family, so you guys might from time to time hear that in the background. But yeah, I like the lead holders. Sometimes I'll just draw with a mechanical pencil, just because it's got a finer point to it. Well, it can maintain a finer point for a little bit longer. But I do like this one for the larger, more gestural forms and stuff. So yeah, David Finch is a big influence for me. He's kind of the reason that I got back into drawing again, was I just saw just all of this amazing stuff that he does. And I was just like, man, if I had just kept up on my drawing, I could maybe be as good as him.
Well, didn't he start like in his late 20s? Is that right?
Yeah, I think so. I think he's been in the industry now for 30-ish years. I forget. He's got lots of instructional videos on his YouTube channel. He always mentions how long he's been in the industry for, and I just forget. I think it's 30, if not pretty close to it. But yeah, this is like some of his stuff. This is from his own live stream that he has. It's part of the inspiration for me wanting to do this live stream was he does all these drawings on live streams. And I've actually been going through to get practice. You know, they say to reference the masters, and I consider David Finch a master. So like this drawing, for example, like when I pick my son up, I'm just waiting in the car line because I'm in there for like 30 to 40 minutes, just sitting there doing nothing. I'm like, might as well practice.
My school?
No, buddy, at Fallon School. So this started off as just kind of a rough gesture. Like that's what I did, but that was obviously a gesture drawing of me just trying to practice what he does. So I did okay, I think. For a while, I was just kind of not using his as a reference anymore, and I was just kind of like practicing cross hatching on my own with ink because I'm really bad at it. I didn't do too bad here. There's some areas that are a little rough, like right in here.
Like, why do you think that you were bad at it? Or like what are you seeing that you think is?
Like just like my line work, I don't have a lot of inking practice, so like
Mm.
I think I just get like the direction of my lines wrong a lot.
Mm.
Like, and he's
Like
just
for the form, like kind of moving with that form a little bit.
yeah, like here, it's probably hard to tell, but like on my shoulder, it's not terrible, but like the cross hatches are going like this way and this way,
Oh yeah.
and his are more kind of, his kind of are like following the form of that shoulder muscle. So yeah, and it's just I don't have that much practice, and he's just an expert, like a master at it. So, but hopefully one day I'll get there.
You will, coach. You will. If you believe.
I don't have much time now the way I see it. So like, that's another one that he did in that book that I was just kind of
Trying to learn off of, kind of.
trying to learn off of. Yeah. He can get he's so good at getting all these like tiny little details in and just getting it so refined.
Yeah, it's amazing like how fast he works,
Yeah, I mean, it's just as long as he's been doing it, like he'll have a fully inked drawing done, and during on his live stream, which is only like 2 to 3 hours tops, he'll have it fully drawn and inked in, and he doesn't even fully render his forms in pencil before he starts inking them. Like he just knows, like
yeah, he did. He did that just recently on a Spider-Man and Venom one, because I know you're working on a Venom thing, so I kind of Googled David Finch like Spider-Man, and that's what he did with a Spider-Man one that he was doing. Spider-Man, like Venom was like hopping on him. It was really neat.
Yeah, I saw that one. Looks like we have one viewer right now. Hey viewer, I don't know who you are. Can you post a comment so we can test out the comment stream? I want to make sure it works on StreamYard. We're using some different software to stream to our YouTube channel, so I'm just wanting to make sure it all works with commenting. So I hope I'm not missing a comment, but even if it's just something as simple as hi. I'm gonna go to our YouTube channel on my phone. Let's see if I can figure out who's on there. One person watching. Oh, my mom just texted me. She's on. She can't figure out how to comment.
Nice.
So, Mom, if you're on your phone, let's see. I got to figure out how this looks on Facebook.
What a mom, by the way, Coach.
Right? She's great. You might see, we got 2 viewers now. So Mom, you might see a little, if you're on your phone, there might, like under our video, it might say description. If you click the X next to description, it should like show you like a little, linked from Facebook. Okay, so she's on her laptop. There should be a little comment bar or something that you can comment on. She's done at the store, buddy.
Should she?
Okay, please stop. Oh, look on the right side of the screen.
Hi, Grandma.
There should be like a chat box there. You might see the name of our channel right above it and highlighted in yellow. And there's a little line there you can click on that says say something. There we go. That's it. All right, let me see if it worked on you. There we go. Okay.
Hi, Grandma.
Cool. So then I can like watch this, Gray. Click on that. She says hi. She heard you, Lily. Okay. So that works. Thanks, Mom.
Thanks, Coach's mom.
So, Mom, if you don't know, Big R there, he designed my labels and logo for me for my hot sauce. That's how Ryan and I, well, we knew each other before that. But that's how we grew our relationship, was through working on the hot sauce bottles together.
And Destiny Online.
Yeah, but we never like
Daddy.
really chatted all that much. And
Yes, that's true.
I don't think you had any idea that I had any sort of artistic talent.
No, actually, when was it when you randomly just kind of started talking about it to me? I can't even remember on it when that happened.
I think I just sent you a picture out of the blue of a doodle I did. I think it was like, I don't remember. I think I sent some pictures of some doodles and you were kind of impressed. And then like, it was after that I was like, you know what? Well, I think because you had referred me to the Proco YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And that's where I found the video, one of David Finch's instructional videos. And I was like, oh my God, this guy is just amazing. And then I went to his channel from there and then just kind of fell in love with him there. Then, yeah, that's when I started drawing a whole lot. Okay, so my mom, I think she assumed that you were the guy that helped design my logo.
Can I go to your house,
I
Grandma?
assume that, two wild and crazy artists.
Yeah, what's kind of weird is me and Coach share the same birthday, correct?
Yeah, yeah. That's funny too. Yeah, both of our birthdays are on July 15th. Yep. Except what year were you born?
84.
Okay, yeah, 79. Okay, I think I'm gonna try to make this idea I have a little bit bigger. I'm gonna get rid of this paper that I have not started on yet. No, Mom, I can't hear you. I can just see your comments. So, and that's the way it should work. So we had a second viewer for a minute there, but they dipped out. Sure, eventually we'll get more chatty as we get more comfortable with this.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I'll be honest. I'm not really very open. I'm a pretty big introvert.
Yeah, that's gonna be one of our challenges. I lean a little bit more introverted as well, and so we're like the blind leading the blind here.
I know what I really hope to get out of this is kind of like what I was saying earlier, just getting back into drawing, but also those people that maybe always wanted to draw, but they might be discouraged when they see these like masters online, that maybe it can be like a journey thing where if they were to like watch us and kind of stay with us, maybe do some tasks and stuff like that, that like will grow, and at the same time they'll grow, and it'll be more of like a kind of like you're in a classroom, like to the point where you're seeing everybody and seeing what they're doing, compared to just like having like a classroom, for instance, of like 8 masters in the classroom, and then it's just you and you're drawing, and everybody's like, hey, check this out, this is amazing. And that's what it almost feels like sometimes when I go online. I'm just like, how do you do this? And people are just like, oh, well, check it out. You're just like, oh my god, it's amazing. How long is it going to take me to do that? Or and then when I try to do it, it's just doesn't even come close, or whatever. And so hopefully, if people do join us, hopefully it's for some reasons where people feel comfortable, and they don't feel overwhelmed maybe to be good really, really quick. And hopefully it's like a journey where we can all just kind of grow together,
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, it's funny. My mom just asked, "What's our objective in doing this?" So a bit about what Ryan just touched on there. Just kind of mostly for our own personal growth. Ryan and I touched upon this earlier, but Ryan and I, we live a couple hours away from each other, and we don't really have any other peers that draw or are really into any kind of artwork. So this is a way for us to just hop on, see each other's drawings as we go, share some constructive feedback, criticisms, give each other tips, some touching tips.
How do I make roads?
He's going to delve into kind of like what I do is just mostly drawing, and then I might try to delve into a little bit of what he does, which is some mostly just design stuff. And overall, just we want to just grow in our we're very much, I think, beginners when it comes to drawing, so growth, improvement, and if we can grow a decent viewership as a result, awesome. If not, that's kind of not our ultimate goal, but if it ended up being a cool little side thing, that would be cool. Sometimes we'll have kind of, I guess you could say, like drawing challenges where we'll kind of both be working on the same kind of project and just kind of see how each other's drawings or artwork turns out. Other times we'll just be kind of working on our own thing, but kind of just chatting and stuff and working on it together. So
yeah, I might sometimes work on, like if I'm in a crunch with maybe a job, when we stream, I might have to do some sketching for my design stuff. But hopefully not. I want to kind of keep this separate, like from a job. Like if I'm like, oh, I got this deadline and I have to use my time to do this. I kind of hope I stay away from that as much as possible.
Yeah. Yeah. And likewise, if I've got like a commission or something, like one of my Dungeons and Dragons thing, I think I've got one more to do in that series, though. I'm going to try to get this Venom drawing done first because it's for my sister's son, my nephew, for his birthday. So,
Whose birthday?
Jude.
Like my cousin.
Yes, your cousin, my nephew.
A baby's your nephew. Your nephew's a baby.
Yeah, yeah.
Have you played City Skylines before?
No.
So what is that character? The other character.
What's that?
What's that other character?
Oh, the last one I have to do?
Yeah.
I don't know yet. I haven't asked him what the last one is. I think sometimes he doesn't want me to feel like rushed, or maybe wants me to, to let me have a little break if I feel like I need it. I don't feel like I need the break really. I want to do this. I want to get this Venom drawing done since his birthday's coming up here towards the end of October. So I want to get some work done on that. But I might go ahead. I might reach out to him this weekend to just to get a heads up on what it might be, so I can have that idea in the back of my head.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So right now I'm just trying to figure out this pose. Probably use a reference. Being really bad right now. I know this is not how Dave Finch would do it. And also, I'd say if we ever have any ever get any viewers that have a lot of experience with this, that feel free to drop your own tips to us. Yeah, my mom says my drawing's very light and hard to see. Yeah, it's so Mom, right now, kind of like what this process is. I'll hold up a little closer. Like, it's not really much right now. So I need a better camera for one, because this is just basically a GoPro that I'm using that's got a very wide angle lens, so it kind of almost gives a little bit of a fisheye. And I can't like you can see the camera right in front of my face, so I could put it even lower, but then it might get in my way. Let me see. So it's kind of obstructing my view a little bit.
How do I do this?
Grayson, not right now. But so right now I am just kind of lightly sketching in what I think I want my figure to be, like the basic kind of pose. Then after I kind of get it in light, I'll go back in with my pencils, probably a little bit darker. And then I'll maybe try to get some ink on it, or we'll see. Gosh, I haven't drawn Venom in so long that Yeah, she says yours is a little darker, but still hard to see what you're doing for your Ryan. Like, I would say, if anything, yours looks a little out of focus.
Out of focus.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like it's focusing on your hand.
Oh, yeah. I think I'm going to build something that goes up on my ceiling, so I can really like kind of zoom in. I'm just working on like it's kind of like automatic drawing a little bit. It's kind of not trying to think about what you're drawing, but just laying some lines down and just kind of see where that goes. And then once I get something weird, I'll kind of go back and be like, oh, is that a form? Kind of like this guy right here. I don't know what I was doing there, but just kind of like, oh, okay, so the light's coming this way. If this was bending around and this was like a thing. So it's kind of just, you can hear it like if you Google automatic drawing, it's just trying to free up your mind as much as you can and just working on like, just something that comes natural, and then going back after you've laid some stuff down, just how you feel, going back and being like, almost like, what did I create? But not really, just more of just seeing something. And then if you automatically interpret a form, go back and play with that a little bit, and then kind of continue on. And it's just kind of just trying to relax, and at the same time go in and out of drawing, as in like looking at form and stuff like that, and then also trying to balance that creativity on the other side. So you're like going in and out kind of a little bit. It's really interesting. Next time we stream, I'll get that guy's name that I found that was just really fascinating, of what he was doing, and he was taught by some other big artist that kind of showed him how to do that, and it kind of helps get rid of creative block if you do have it. There's a lot of people that say creative block's not even real, which I think I almost agree with that. But it's really, really interesting.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get some practice in with. I thought Venom would be like drawing his face might be a little easier than a person's face, but that's like I've been practicing people's faces, but it's almost easier for me to do a person's face. If I guess get the jaw shape in. Ooh. Let's see. So we're about 54 minutes into our stream. You want to call it good at an hour, Ryan?
Yeah, I got a birthday party to go to with the kids, but I wouldn't mind doing some drawing tonight too, if you want.
Okay. I might be able to do that. So pretty much any time that Ryan and I will be kind of drawing together, we'll probably just hop on and just record it on the live stream. Just so that way we can kind of have a record of our progress and what we do. We don't really care or expect if anyone pops on or not. So let's see, my mom's saying, I like seeing your face while you work, that your drawings. Is that just because you're my mom, though? I also like the dialogue about what we're doing as an observer. I like knowing why I'm watching. Yeah, that's kind of something we wanted to show too, was just our process and why we draw things the way we do, or the steps we do our stuff in. So you probably see now I'm starting to get a little bit more shape on mine. I think I'm gonna have to still do some references, because this isn't gonna be my final drawing. This is just a rough sketch, but I still kind of want to practice like filling in this rough sketch, just so when I do put it down on the larger final piece of paper, I don't have as much eraser marks going on, and it's not as much of a mess. So I'm trying to stay loose right now. If you kind of stay loose, something I have to keep telling myself, you can actually have some more energy behind your drawing. And then just kind of tighten up as you go.
And I remember doing a little bit of this in drawing one. And I always remember thinking like, God, I hate this. Like, this is so stupid. Why am I doing lines? Why am I doing like things over and over again? And I don't think it was till like way later when I was in some of my farther along classes. And it just like hits you like a brick wall, like, oh, that's why this doesn't look that great, because I'm not really good with line pressure and stuff like that. And it always made me kind of think like, man, maybe that stuff was kind of important like at the beginning, because as a, at least for me personally, I didn't think that I was like, oh man, I'm way better than doing this, but it was just way more exciting to just jump into something. And then but then it's like you jump over some hurdles that you should have maybe jumped over a little bit cleaner. And then when you get to that one big hurdle, it's just like, whoa, like hits you. It's just like, I'm not that great at a lot of things right now. So now I really appreciate, and I kind of see like these things that I'm doing. It's just like, oh man, just like feeling your pencil and like feeling the pressure that you're putting on the pencil. Like I've noticed I'm really hard and tight holding the pencil. And I think it's just because I'm a little bit nervous with this whole streaming thing, but also just, I'm trying to control too much. And so this is like, it's really interesting. I really appreciate this kind of stuff now.
She says, artists are fascinating for us non-artist types. Be prepared at some point in case someone asks you to illustrate something for them. Well, that's kind of what part of this is for too. Like if, I know lots of people, I've had lots of comments I like about some of the stuff that I've done, like, oh, why aren't you doing this professionally? Da 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 da. But like, right now I think I'm in a spot where with, using plenty of reference and taking and having plenty of time, I could probably draw anything I wanted to. But that's just the thing, is it takes me a lot of time right now. just because I'm not as skilled as like a professional artist, you know, like David Finch. Like sketching in this rough drawing so far has taken me about an hour, like, well, maybe less than that, because I didn't start doing it until maybe 15-20 minutes in the live stream, so maybe like 40 minutes, but I'm still kind of lost. By now David Finch would probably be halfway through his inking, you know. So it's part of it is being fast enough to know you can make deadlines. So yeah, like right now, you know, I've got some friends and stuff that I'm doing drawings for, so that I don't really have like deadlines for them. They all, you know, take your time, you know, no rush. But yeah, that's not how it would work if I were with some sort of studio, or if I was contracted to do some sort of artwork for somebody, which I guess, Ryan, you can probably speak more about deadlines than I could, because you are actually a professional artist.
Well, designer, not artist.
Oh yeah, there's still artwork involved in doing design.
Yeah, I guess that's true. There's a lot of things that are almost the same in design and art, but yeah, deadlines are. If I was to say anything about deadlines is, I remember my teacher a long time ago would always say it's like a rearview mirror. Things are closer than they appear, and it's so funny because, for instance, I had one of my big clients. They called me. They're like, "Hey, you know, it's a big corporation kind of thing, and corporate company, and they're like, hey, we kind of want to work on this, blah blah blah." I was like, okay, when do you think when's a good time for you? And they told me, they're like, oh, Ryan, probably in about a month and a half, you know, or they told me a date, and I looked back, I was like, oh, okay. It's like, yeah, so you got about like a month or so. And I was like, oh man, I can get that done way before that. And of course, I try to get or try to get things done as early as possible, because it makes you look good too, as a you know, as a person who's doing something for somebody else. You know, it's just like, oh, hey, I cared enough about this to where, you know, and it shows initiative. And I just always think to myself, like, oh yeah, you know, I'll work on this next week, and I'll do a dabble a little bit, and I'll get another job, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'll work on that. I'm like, oh, I got to get back to this, you know. So then I start working on that again, and then something else comes in, and it just, before you know it, it's just like, holy crap, that's due in a week and a half, you know. And so it's always something I keep in the back of my mind when I'm driving or I'm doing something. I'm always trying to think of like how to organize something, or do some layout in some way. But yeah, deadlines can be horrible, especially if you didn't do anything and you know it's done it needs to be done in 3 or 4 days. And that is terrible. And the reason I say that is not because you put it off, but because you limit your creativeness to where it's to the point where that's like tapping you in the back of your head, like, hello, this has got to be done, you know. So you can't, if something falls apart when you're trying to, like, you have an idea and you're trying to make something and it falls apart, and you just spent like a day trying to do it, or you're just not happy with it. You're just like, man, this could be way better. What am I doing wrong? Or, you know, how can I rearrange things? And it just is constantly tapping at you, and it really hinders your creative loose mind. So deadlines can be hard in that way. But I know, like, I've never done anything like what Coach is doing necessarily, for like really drawing something and bringing it out. That, from what I've heard from other artists, is that can be really stressful. Because
Yeah, I can only imagine. Like,
yeah, I mean, David has said in a lot of his stuff that he's done things where he's just not happy with, that he spent so much time with, and because there's a deadline and it's a job, he's had to turn it in, and it's still like fantastic. But you know, it's just, as an artist, as a person, like, did I push that far enough? Did I really? I could have done this better. And I think it's with any artist. is whenever you create something and you're done with it and you let it go to do whatever it does. Usually like a month later or even just a couple days later, I'll go back and I'll look at it and be like, oh my God, I wish I had done this and maybe done this. And it's just time to like marinate in your mind. And so that deadlines can be bad for that. Like if you wait till the very end to do something, you can really shoot yourself in the foot. Especially if you really want to be good at what you do, you shoot yourself in the foot from giving your time to push yourself to the max of looking at all scenarios at something and then turning it in. So and there's nothing worse than turning something in that you're just not happy with. It feels terrible. But I'll be honest. There's been some times I've turned in some stuff to the company that I do that has been like it needs a rush. You know, you're like, oh God, you got to get this done. And I've turned it in, and I hated it. And then somehow, like a couple days later, I'm like, I actually really like that. So I don't know. I think it's just all kind of weird, but yes, to say all in all, deadlines can be a really bad hindrance for you if you just let it go and think you're going to do something great in a very limited amount of time.
Yeah. All right. Well, speaking of time, you want to call it there?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Now? Do you need
I
to
guess
go?
I guess I'll explain something real quick, kind of what I'm doing here. So I was like doing circles, you know,
Okay.
and let me get on camera. So I was doing circles and just trying to get like a thing. And then I broke away from doing something tight, me trying to concentrate, and I was kind of messing around. But what's interesting about this is I was just doing circles, kind of playing around. But then when I stepped back and I kind of looked at it, I didn't know what I was doing. But then I can look back, a couple seconds, step back, and see like, okay, my mind's now starting to interpret what I did, and how can I turn that into something? So I could have looked at these as like a Horizon Zero Dawn, like there's these big dinosaurs that have these platforms that you go and like that's how you like open up the world. You climb this dinosaur and it's got this huge platform. It kind of reminded me of that when I was looking at it, almost like these kind of like oh, what do you call those? A lily pad. And then I started kind of just playing with it, and I don't even know what I'm doing now, but now I'm putting form to it and trying to kind of just play with it. And so that's kind of an idea. I guess I wanted to explain that so people aren't like, you know, like, oh, guys, just doing a bunch of weird stuff. But that's kind of the concept.
Yeah, I think the thing on top, towards the top of the page, looks kind of like a space capsule or something.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's kind of like I was just I put a vantage point, and I was just like kind of like working on form, like things bending. And then after a while, I was like, oh, okay, so this doesn't make sense. None of this really like an perception necessarily, but it's just something like, you know, this looks like those gears that kind of like you grind, that kind of turn and like grind up aluminum or metal or whatever. And so it's just kind of you just start playing around. Then maybe even tomorrow I'll come back and look at something. And these are important because if you ever try to have an idea of something later on, you can look back at these and be like, oh my gosh, I'm working on this. And it's just like, oh, actually, that's kind of interesting. What if I took that form and put it into, you know, something over here? That's kind of interesting, you know. So it's like you're stepping away from something you made, and then you can interpret later on. It's a kind of like a really weird kind of way of creativeness without knowing what you're doing, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Mom's saying that your audio goes in and out and hard to hear sometimes. It hasn't gone in and out for me, Mom. So it might be something on your end. I don't know.
Dad, look at my eye.
Because
I love you, Clay.
yeah, you're gonna be fine, buddy. So.
I guess before we get off, where are you thinking at right now, Coach? Like with how you're feeling about what you're doing?
When are you going to be done?
I don't know.
What?
It's okay. I'm not sure if that's going to be my final pose or not. Great, not right now. It is just kind of rough, but I think I needed just a little bit more reference for like, I might even take some silly photos of myself kind of in this pose.
Coach, you have to share those.
Kind of get the bottom half figured out here.
Yeah, you have to share those photos.
No. So yeah, I don't know. I think it's okay, but
What do you think it's missing, like in your opinion?
I think I just need to figure out I don't know. I think I need right now. Just need to figure out how the legs would be, kind of. Maybe, yeah. You know what? Maybe this leg should be. I think that helps. So I kind of angled this leg down this way more. And then maybe I pop this leg up here. I think that's already a lot better. I don't know if you saw it before, but this leg I had kind of angled up this way.
I see.
So now I just moved it, kind of erased that, and moved it down here. So it'd almost be like he's anchored himself by his feet, which are like back behind him, you know, probably like right about in here, to, you know, like a spider web. So I think the background, I'm not going to try to get carried away like I have, but, you know, I might just put a few kind of hints at some spider webbing back here. Just keep it more simple. Like I said, I think I'm gonna, in this hand, kind of like make it look like he's got a hold of Spider-Man's mask or something, and make it kind of ripped up.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Maybe like that. I think that leg position actually looks a lot better. Just kind of have them folded in, so he's kind of sitting on his heels. Yeah, I still might kind of photo myself in a similar pose and just make sure it all kind of works. But I think that's kind of the general way I'm going to go. Like, man, after all, this doesn't need to be a final.
Okay, you wanna come with me? Yeah, and can you drop me off?
Final detailed sketch by any means. It's just
What?
just to give me an idea of what I'm going to do for the final drawing. But I don't know what I'm going to do with this hand yet, though. I think I'm going to have it kind of.
Bubba, have you had pink eye before? Oh, no.
Might kind of have it splayed open or something. maybe something like that. I don't know.
I see. I see.
Or maybe he can be. I don't know. I don't know what I'll do with the fist yet. Maybe. Ooh, wait, here, this might be better. It's so funny because I watched another David Finch video recently where he's talking about how to make your forms more dynamic. And like in that, he's literally doing what I'm doing right now and just like moving stuff around and seeing what feels good or what works. But you can see it's probably getting a little too heavy on some of my.
Too heavy on your lines.
Yeah, just find if I can just stay loose and light. Okay, yeah, I think I like where that's headed. Like some. Some kind of weird, gnarly pose with the hand. And I guess he likes the comic book style Venom more, so that so we got to draw that big old Venom symbol on his chest that he didn't have in the movies.
Oh my! I didn't even realize that.
Oh, you didn't?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, Venom's got a big old spider on his chest. It's a giant white spider symbol. Got these 2 fangs. And then just these giant white legs that spread across his chest and his side and like wrap around onto his back.
Oh yeah.
So I have to figure out how to get those to fit in there with the rest of his form.
Awesome. Yeah, I'd be interested to see that in between, the streams or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, I think something. Something like that. And my mom is enjoying the show.
Thanks, Mom. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and get off here and take the kids to the birthday party and stuff. And I'll text you later, Coach. And if you want to stream later or whatever.
Okay. Sounds good. Yeah, we'll call it our first stream for the night. And thanks for tuning in, Mom. Our first viewer and commenter. I guess I should say that to the camera and not to the screen I'm watching. I need to get it like a computer monitor mounted like back behind my desk. I think would be good. But anyways, yeah, so we might stream tonight again. Again, mostly just for our benefit, but if anyone wants to join in, awesome. Yeah, have fun at the party, Ryan.
Thanks, Steve. I'll see you.
See ya. Bye, Mom. Thank you.